Welcome back to the official Geek Speak podcast. It's been a long time, but I am still your host, Sean, and joined as always is my co-host, Josh, your mom, Rudy Rudolph. This is the podcast where I watch movies, make movies, play games, and more. What else can you ask for? Oh, happy Halloween, Thanksgiving, and almost Christmas.
Yeah, we've missed a little bit, but
It started with Josh's back.
I kind of have some legit reasons. I almost died. Not fully, but kind of. To make a very long story short, I herniated a disc in my lower spine back in June, and then it wasn't until, I threw out my back at work in June, and then it wasn't until the end of August, beginning of September, when the disc decided that it was going to herniate itself, digging into my nerves and my lower spine, so that was great. I almost lost the ability to walk on my left leg, also great, love it, highly recommend. Sean has disappeared from the void. Where'd he go?
Hold on. I'm good now? Okay.
Yes, you're back.
Everything froze on my end completely. Go on.
But yeah, so, when you herniate a disc and you have to get surgery on it to remove said part of the disc, you have a long time of recovery. And that meant a long time of lying in bed, literally doing nothing to not affect my back anymore. And then, of course, once that all ended, I had to go back to work and everything and then just scheduling stuff. But now it's December, so time has flown by a little bit. But now we can record once again.
Our last episode was about a July 11th movie, Superman. And we recorded and put it out that one in September.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. This year was probably our worst year for podcasting in general, and we apologize for that. It was not the intention, of course. We always go in and say we're going to do close weekly episodes, and that's still the goal. I think a big part of it is our time zone differences, as well as just like we both work at jobs that are not consistent hours at all, and just whatever it is, it's random, which makes things very difficult to do shit at all. Like, oh my God, I work at a theme park. He works at a movie theater. We don't have schedules lined up at all.
Nope.
Not in the slightest. We started this podcast as roommates. That was easier.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I missed that. Anyway, so for news, normally when you have a break, we cut up on the news of all of it, or big parts of it from the whole time. Not this time.
No.
I'm too lazy to go through and do 3 months of news.
That would take like 3 hours to do. We ain't got time for that.
We've done it before.
I know, and I've edited it, and it's a long time.
I have to. It's usually fun to do it, but there's more fun things you can do today. Like we're going to do a recap of news, recap of movies that happened, because that's really fun. I have your letterbox up right now with filtering to what I've seen this year. And let's talk a bit about, first off, a few news pieces, though, just that are like relative like this exact week as in the past like 3 days. That seems important. Like that might be our new gauge. It's like the newest news possible. Here we go. Golden Globe nominations came out, Josh.
They did.
Overall, positive-ish.
I would say I'm overall positive about it. There's still some movies that I need to see, and some stuff in categories that I don't
The
agree
Bear's
with.
a great comedy.
Bear's a great comedy. Rose Byrne and If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, funniest performance of the year. Definitely not at all one of the most stressful movies I've ever seen. Funny stuff throughout the whole thing. That's not the comment on the performance. Performance was fantastic. I do not agree it's a comedic performance, though.
I think it's funny that there's been no musicals this year in the musical comedy category, despite having a major musical in theaters. Pretty funny, because I agree, Wicked does not deserve a Best Musical nomination this year, or comedy. But
I wish Lionsgate actually promoted Kiss of the Spider-Woman, because that was really fucking good.
Is that a musical?
Yeah, it's a remake of a movie from the 80s, but I think it's actually adapted from either stage play or musical. I don't know which it was on stage, but it's really fucking good. From the director of the Beauty and the Beast remake, I was not expecting it to actually be a good musical because of that track record. It's actually really good, and it makes me hate the Beauty and the Beast remake a lot more because I can see the potential.
See, I wish some of the nominations I really wish it happened. I really wish Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson from The Long Walk got nominated for Golden Globes. And I have mixed feelings of the movie overall, but I think I should be. Those performances are great. Actually, everyone in the movie is great. Even the dicks in the movie are great. Like the jerks. I don't make people's dick. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I think that I would have loved a nomination for Miles Catan or Catan from Sinners.
Yep.
He's not nominated, and Michael B. Jordan's nominated, but I hope he's nominated as Smoke and Stack and not one or the other, because it'd be funnier if he's nominated for one or the other, it's way funnier. Like, you're better as one guy.
If he's nominated for both and he wins, I hope they give him 2 trophies.
I don't think it's deserving of a nomination necessarily, but I do think Materialist was the best performance of the year for Chris Evans. Best performance of Chris Evans' career, probably, to me, is Materialists.
Yep.
And so that would be worth nominating, but I don't think he's still I don't think he did better than some other people who were nominated necessarily. Like DiCaprio was fantastic. Although it's weird because the category is like not, that's divided up, so it's hard to compare who's who on stuff with musical comedy versus drama. Which, guys, those are not the only 3 genres that exist.
Yeah.
Musical or comedy being a category together is still the funniest thing that's been baked in for many years. Just change that category.
Yeah, I mean, it was, most likely created when musicals were far more common than they are today. But now, we get maybe less than 5 a year, if that.
And I get the idea that it's you have one category for drama, one category for comedy. Very Shakespearean, very idea. Like, okay, it's either one of the two. And so where does musical fit in? But there are musicals that are dramas too. Like West Side Story is more drama than comedy, for instance. You would not, I feel like that doesn't belong against the comedians. But anyway, Golden Globes, overall good. I love that Chloe Zhao is nominated. I need to see her movie so badly this year.
You've got to see it. It's so fucking good. It's so good. It broke me so many times. My review, it's not a spoiler. At a certain point in the movie, the opening musical piece from Arrival starts playing. And yeah, that ripped my heart out even more.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. As soon as I heard the first 2 notes, I was like, I hate you.
I went most of my life thinking that that song was from Arrival, like written for it, until I did a music league round of songs without instruments recently, and songs without vocals, and I wanted the Arrival soundtrack. I'm gonna play the opening theme over. Like, that's not from Arrival, just it's in a movie. That threw me off. Okay, now let's talk about some other things. Markiplier, you have Markiplier news apparently.
Yes. So for those unaware, he's been making a movie.
That Josh is Markiplier.
Yeah, that's a lot. Not true. But he's been making a movie for the last 2 years called Iron Lung. It's a horror movie about in the future in space. World's pretty much dead. Only a handful of people, and they discover that there is a moon that has an ocean of blood, and it's really their only sign of life. And so they basically seal a guy into a submarine and just tell him to explore it and hope that nothing tries to kill you. And obviously, it's a horror movie, so things are going to go awry. But the thing that's very interesting about this is that it's finally got a release date of the end of January. But what makes it more interesting is that, like with him financing the movie himself, he is also releasing it himself. He is not going through any studios at all for it, going completely independent, which I think is really cool. But the coolest thing about it is that he originally started with only like 50 to 60 theaters last Friday. He has now gone up to over 1,500 theaters. And that's all just by people asking. And now it's gotten AMC, Cinemark, Regal. I'm willing to bet the Alamo Drafthouse will probably be soon. That is just really cool to see, someone with his level of fame actually able to cash in on that and really get to do everything himself without having to go through miles and miles of red tape of people just like trying to do stuff. Because he was talking about on the live stream that
very expensive to do so.
Yeah, but he's also got a lot of money because he's got his, channel, the podcast, a bunch of other stuff. So it's not like, he's struggling. But I really like that this could probably upset Hollywood, but in a good way, of showing like that you don't have to go through the studio system to do something like this if you obviously have some level of fame like his. Because he talked about trying to go through the studios traditionally, and he just like he hated it because they were trying to basically be like, this is our movie now. He's like, fuck you, no it's not, I paid for this, I did everything myself. So I just think it's very interesting and very cool. I'm very excited to see what the movie is like, and also what comes out of it afterwards.
And while 1,500 is not a lot of theaters in general, it's still a lot more than 50 what he's had planned. So I'm happy that it's playing more accessibly. I hope it's like Everything Ever All at Once, which was like so limited, and did numerous limited releases first, and then did wide release. I hope it happens for this movie.
I mean, they're
really cool.
Still adding theaters like to this day. Like every day they keep adding more and more, and then eventually international. It's obviously trickier because you gotta go country by country. But he said he wants to do it internationally, and I think at this point it's gonna happen. And it's coming out at the end of January, a pretty dead month for movies. Honestly, a pretty smart move on him to like release it then, because most likely he's not going to have much competition at all.
Yeah. Let's talk about Stranger Things.
Oh boy.
I'm currently not watching. I'm still debating if I'm going to or not. I've said before on the podcast, which we both said in the podcast at some points, that we're not going to watch it. I think Josh is watching it right now, but it's a complicated issue right now. But I'm going to say right now, fuck you, Brett Gelman, and fuck you, Noah Schnapp. That's my statement still.
Yeah, I do not like either of them.
Also Noah Schnapp's gotten worse at acting in this. I've seen clips in the season, like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, he's not great this season.
I will say that my biggest reason for why I would not watch it, for why I would watch it, is this it's not the show's fault that they were already baked into the show for so long after going on rants, after being in the show for 4 seasons. It's really hard. Like, okay, well, you just screw over last season potentially. That's not really fair to the entire cast and crew who worked on the show still. And I can tell many of them are not going to be friends. Like, I feel like some of them are not going to be friends with him after the fact. Some of them will. I hate that Millie Bobby Brown Millie Bonnie Bon Jovi's her official name now. I hate that she made him the godfather for a kid because like that it's after the fact, so you knew what was going on. You approved all this still. Interesting. But like I don't know their lives. I just think it's fascinating. It's like I'm not watching Scream 7, for instance.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not seeing that at all. I have just watching the trailer, it just like everything aside, trailer's bad. I'm not looking forward to the movie in any way, shape, or form.
It feels good just going back in time and retreading old ground and not doing anything interesting with it. But that's not the point. My thing about the Scream 7 thing, of course, is the firing of Melissa Barrera and Dorothy quitting in solidarity. And then like, oh, we're sorry, come back. It's just like, no. And that's one movie. It's a different scenario where you're not already making the thing 80% through and then realize, oh, we have 20% left. Now we're stuck with the person.
And also probably contractual obligations too. Like I'm willing, but that was also a big factor.
Also, like story-wise, I feel like you shouldn't kill off Will or something. It wouldn't make sense. I think that would ruin season 1 and 2 completely.
Yeah.
If the end of the show is him dying, I can see Joyce killing herself or not killing herself, like sacrificing herself for something like that. That's fine. But Will and stab. But I mean, it would be a disservice to the story itself if they did that. So I might watch it just because I think it's really weird to have 80% of a show done and then you're stuck with 20%. Like, well, shit, we have to have him now still.
Yeah.
Let's make most of it. That's my vibe. That's like, if I watch it, it would be literally because of the cast and crew. Like, I don't think it's fair to the rest of them. And then call that justification all you want. I don't know. That's probably Josh's reasoning too. Is that well, they already did all this and it's after the fact has happened.
There's like with stuff like this, there's always a multitude of factors that go into it that like, you know, it's never just as simple as like, oh, they can just fire them. It's never that simple as much as we would like it to be. And also it's streaming. So like the way they get paid is also still so weird and finicky. It used to be that they just got the one base pay and that was it. Residuals for streaming never existed. But now they kind of do, but they also don't. They're still being really scummy about that kind of stuff. So it's like, as far as I'm aware, they're probably not getting much more money from this. So it's not like investing back into it.
But hey, feel free to pirate it also.
You could do that too. I don't care. I fucking hate Netflix because we got big news about them later.
We do in about a minute and a half. Let's go to our trailers news. We have 2 trailers today that Josh, I know, did not watch one of them. And the first one is Supergirl, though. Which I'll say, it is, I was told it has Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. It does. Mm-hmm. It's very like the Nowhere planet or the head, like that vibe to me, a lot of the scenes in this. And I like it. I like it a lot. It's fun to me seeing DC elements without the cinematography style they had in Superman. Because it's so different.
Yeah, I do like that it's clearly going to allow their directors to have their own visions and styles and stuff. I'm very happy about that. And I'm also happy that they're doing this one, as far as I'm aware, mostly in space. I think that's pretty cool and pretty different.
Yeah. I'm glad they confirmed her age of being 23. She is younger than Clark because people are like, hold on, but she got here first. I'm like, yes. Time dilation stuff is crazy in the way there, guys.
Interstellar made a whole point about time dilation, and you all love that movie so much.
I haven't seen it still. I need to watch Interstellar.
You gotta watch it, man.
I
gave you a copy of it.
I know. I should watch it. To be fair, I have a lot of movies myself I've not watched yet. Because it's the paralysis of seeing all the choices. It's hard. Of course, looking at the screen behind you right now, you don't have video. I can see video right now of Josh's wall.
I got a wall of movies. I promise you, I have not seen all of these.
Well, and I told him, how's he going to move to LA with the movies? He said, I don't know yet. We'll figure it out.
That's a future Josh problem.
The answer is give them away. No, I'm kidding. So this trailer is really fun. I love the directing of it. I think it's really fun seeing Jason Momoa finally has Lobo, which is who he should have been cast as initially in the first place, not Aquaman. And I really loved that we get to see Crypto piss on a newspaper miss. That's pretty fun. He's just bad at being a dog, bad at having an owner. I really, really love, like the best part of this trailer is confirming that Krypton did not die in a day. That's dark.
Yeah.
Because in like every media, it just explodes and it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like, no, this is like went on. This dragged out and we were all dying slowly. Like, oh, what?
Yeah, I really like the mythology they're setting up for like Krypton and the Kryptonians in this universe. I think it's like obviously very similar.
Or as Brando said, Krypton.
Krypton. But yeah, I think it's pretty
Brando
interesting.
said.
I know.
Why did no one correct him at any point? No one else in the movie said Krypton. Because Krypton is only him from Krypton. All right. Good movie, yay, trailer.
Yeah.
Here's the trailer I don't care about, but I watched it anyway. I do care about because I like the brand. I like the thing itself. Avatar: The Last Airbender Book 2, where we have Aang as like a 17-year-old instead of a 12-year-old, but in the show it takes place like a few days later. So who knows? Supposedly there's going to be a time jump. My biggest thing is, of course, the story problems. They're clearly having issues with, like, why is Appa the Swords Pass? If you watch the original show, that makes no goddamn sense.
Yep.
Spoilers for Book 2 after The Last Airbender TV show original. It's 20 years old now. Go skip ahead for like a minute. Appa should be gone.
Yeah, Appa ain't
Like-
there at this portion of the story.
I think they're skipping the library.
I wouldn't be surprised. And again, like I've said before on this podcast, I'm fine with adaptations making change, but it has to make sense in the context of both the story they're doing and also from the source material itself. If you're taking an essential part of that away, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, they already had Wan Chi Tong in the first season, apparently, the knowledge spirit from the library, the owl. They brought him in the first season.
Because fuck it, why not? That seems to be the mentality of this show.
And they also did Cave of Two Lovers in the first season with Sokka and Katara instead.
I swear to Christ, I don't understand.
I love the casting of the show, and I'm upset that they're all wasted. I loved Gordon's casting as Aang. I think he looked like Aang a lot in the first season also. I
yeah.
wish he was written and directed better. He doesn't look as much like Aang now, so he grew up. But
yeah, he's taller than everyone. That to me looks very wrong.
that's how comic Aang is, because comic Aang is 16. He's taller and has a growth spurt.
Yeah, but that's
fine.
afterwards.
But we're not there yet. That's after the show. He should be the short king for Katara.
I'm genuinely so curious for the Harry Potter show, how the fuck they're going to get around this problem, because it's very clearly going to be, every 2 to 3 years.
That goes into our next news too.
Oh God, what is it?
Goes into our next news because if the buyout happens, that might be canceled. Keep that in mind.
It's not going to get canceled.
No. I mean, or at least like have time delays when these things like Netflix does,
fair.
for instance. Have you watched the trailer at all? For Avatar?
No, I don't care.
Toph looks cool. That's always like me the case though. They do the seismic sense really well. Like there's a clip of her doing the seismic sense where you can see her feeling and stuff. That's really fun. I don't see the boulder in the scene with her though, and that makes me upset.
Yeah, they're probably not going to do that.
Please, if you do the boulder, just get Dwayne Johnson.
Again, as I said before, as long as it only looks like the thing but doesn't have the substance of it, then that apparently equals good remake in Hollywood standards.
I give this a nay. I haven't even finished the first season. I watched 3 episodes and hated it so much I was done.
I think I only watched like 3 or 4 episodes myself. I was like, this is fine, but I'm not getting anything out of it.
Why start with the Airbender genocide? Like, it doesn't really... it doesn't hurt the characters in the story.
Because it's not for kids. It's for the kids that grew up on it. So it's got to go darker and more gritty. Ooh.
It doesn't add anything. It just makes the story worse and the pacing worse. Anyway, nay. Let's move on to the last piece of news, which is our potential buyout. And then we'll get to... I'll probably have to do a break and then finish out the last part with the other thing. We'll see. Let's talk about this buyout, Josh. Warner Brothers is in a bidding war and might be originally negotiated exclusive rights of negotiating to Netflix. Horrifying.
Yep.
And now they have letting Paramount back in to negotiating. Also horrifying.
Yep.
First off, WB selling in general is scary. Like, just for the idea of this, because they can afford stuff. I guarantee it. Don't pay David Zaslav as much.
Reason that this is happening, and I saw someone summarize this pretty well, is that like what has been happening in a lot of major companies and like tech companies and stuff is that they'll buy out like companies or studios or whatever. They'll clean house, they'll fire as many people as they can, close as many things as they can, while also giving themselves major bonuses and shit like that. So that way they get a lot of money. And then once the damage is done and the dust is settled, then they sell it. And then, they walk away with a shit ton of money. And then that's the end of that. They don't give a shit about the actual damage that this does.
Very few companies can even afford to buy WB, which makes selling it only for if you sell this company, you only make a monopoly, because only companies that can afford to buy WB will be and who have interest will be other film studio stuff. And it's like, I don't love the idea of their biggest competitor, Netflix. Like, Netflix's biggest competitor probably was HBO Max, and if they buy that, that's not great.
No.
And then on top of that, owning everything else WB has. Oh no, Netflix is very anti-movie theater, anti-physical releases.
I saw someone that said that, like, if this actually does end up happening and Netflix does come out the winner, they quite literally cannot afford to forego movie theaters and physical releases, because this is $80 billion. Netflix does not have $80 billion. They are, like, quite literally in the billions already in debt. And then Paramount, on the other end of that, they're only worth $12 billion, and they just bid $100 billion. So they're also taking out a major loan for this. The fallout of this, no matter what, is so many people are going to get fired. So many things are going to get shut down within the studios, consolidations. And then, of course, just monopoly in general is very bad. There's a reason we have laws against shit like this. But of course, given our current administration,
We'll see.
that kind of shit apparently doesn't seem to matter.
I know WGA and DJ have both written to Congress and to both these companies to say, do not do this. You will ruin the entire industry.
Yeah, and whenever, the CEOs of said companies are like, oh no, we promise, you're not going to get fired. Nothing like this is going to happen. It happens every fucking time. And what happens? People get fired and things get shut down.
Also, Netflix itself is very anti-shooting in LA. They almost always will shoot overseas instead, which is bad for me living here. On top of that, Paramount, although they want to shoot in LA, they are making deals with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If Paramount wins this bid, they're going to give control of CNN to Donald Trump. And also their blacklist of actors is going to grow. To anyone who's spoken out against Palestine is going to be blacklisted. So, lovely. Worst of both worlds. That's where we're at.
The thing about this whole thing is that this kind of came the fuck out of nowhere. Like, WB does not need to be selling. They had a great year. But again, like I said earlier, this is just what they do these days with these companies. They just clean house, get themselves bonuses, and then they just sell. It doesn't even matter if the company is failing or not. Because as far as I'm aware, WB this year has not been failing.
Well, they've also been quote-unquote struggling for a long time. Like, that's the whole Batgirl debacle and the whole the Coyote versus acting. They've been trying to cut things out and try and get things for a while now. And it's all because it's all David Zaslav doing this, for the record. Fuck the CEO of WB. It's just crazy to me, the choices that he makes, and he's still around. Cut him out.
Yep.
If this sale goes through, either way, he becomes a billionaire.
Oh yeah, no matter what. Again, like the rich get more rich and everyone else suffers for it.
This is Josh's soapbox today, is fuck the rich.
Fuck the rich, it's save movie theaters. There you go.
So I give this news a nay.
Hard nay.
I'm going to have you blind rank now 5 movies, Josh.
Okay, cool.
Here we go. This is what's happening today. Spots 1, I'm going to give 5 spots, okay? But so anyone doesn't understand, blind ranking is I'm going to give him a movie. He puts it in spot 1 through 5, and he doesn't know what's coming next. Wicked for Good.
4.
The Black Phone 2.
3.
Freakier Friday.
2.
You just said 2.
No, I said 3 for Black Phone.
Did you? You're right. Let's go with Now You See Me, Now You Don't. You have 5 or 1.
Ooh, I guess I'll go with 1 then.
Frankenstein.
Man, Del Toro, he's just lost it. He's a bad director, so it's gonna go in number 5.
So your ranking of these movies is Frankenstein at the bottom, followed by Wicked for Good, and then The Black Phone 2, and then what did you put for 2?
Freakier Friday.
Freakier Friday, and then Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That's number 1.
Magicians trump Frankenstein every day.
I think Magicians, Trump, I'm like, okay, no. Yeah, so that's some movies we're talking about today are those movies, for the record. All movies here might have light spoilers, so skip ahead if you want to skip ahead. Timestamps down below. We are going to recap today from Superman. We already did that. So forward that we watched together, or we both watched. So let's talk a bit about, so it came out just now, initial thoughts on Zootopia 2. Also, if you haven't seen the movies, guys, you can skip around, no problem. We're kind of just going to jump around, and we'll have each one labeled of what each thing is in the discussion. Zootopia 2 is our first one today. I might work backwards. We'll see how it goes. Might jump around like the blind ranking. We'll have fun with this. Also, this weekend came out FNAF 2. I'm watching it soon. We're not talking about, I have not seen Sentimental Value. I've not seen Rental Family or Hamnet. I'm watching, hopefully, all 4 of these this weekend. Josh, Zootopia 2.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun. I do think the first one is still better, despite the problems with its portrayal of racism and stuff like that. But I feel like that this one, it just kind of fell short in terms of I don't know. I just feel like the mystery wasn't as engaging as it could have been, and I personally felt like the messaging.
But Andy Samberg.
Okay, Andy Samberg, I liked him, but again, certain reveals that happen, I'm like, this is kind of coming out of left field just as bad as it was the first time around. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I had fun with it. There was a lot of jokes I liked. I thought the action was pretty decent, but I've seen stronger from Disney, and I still feel like the first one was better.
You all should look up the Jennifer Goodwin Stolen Land interview. It's very funny about this movie.
Yeah, you told me about that. That was pretty funny.
It's not about current events, guys. Sure. Okay. Sure. Because time isn't repeating ever. Yeah, movie I liked a lot. I think to me, it was better than the first one, personally. But I haven't seen the first one in a long time. I might need to rewatch it. I was never huge on it. I'm not huge on this either. I think they're both fine. The Hungry Hippos joke made me laugh so hard in this one, though.
Funny.
There's some great visual gags and great references. The Ratatouille bit's funny. Because Nicole's like, oh, he's making Ratatouille. And then the hat, that's really funny. There's a lot of good moments like that. There's the whole Shining reference. That's pretty good. There's a lot of good moments, but no joke in the movie was as funny as the references in the movie were, unfortunately. Like, the movie as itself, its own humor, didn't work as well, to me. I did enjoy the love confession at the end. That was not, I couldn't use words like I love you properly because it's like, oh no, there's some spacey stuff here. Let's be silly. Like, they're clearly madly in love, but we can't say it. Fun movie. I gave it probably a 7 out of 10. That's how I'd rate it. I had fun.
Yeah, that's what I gave it. Like, I enjoyed it. I would definitely watch it again, but it's not one of my favorites from Disney.
Wicked for good, Josh. For me, more thing like the worse it gets. But let's go on. Let's talk about this for a second.
I enjoyed it.
For those who don't know, we had a whole Wicked episode before. We had a whole Wicked episode. Go watch it if you want to hear more thoughts on the first one. We both liked the first one. I thought the first one was always good, not great. And Josh and I had similar problems with the first one. To me, when I rewatched the first one, those problems were amplified. This one, I'm like, they're still here. Like, what the fuck is a clock tick? We don't need that anymore. They say the word clock tick 5 times in the movie, once in the first one. And in this one, even this one or the first one, she says, give me a second or give me a minute or something like that. So you have other units of time, which has been established.
But it's not weird.
So
like
clock tick was most important. But Josh, you gave this movie a 7 out of 10. Do you stand by this?
Yeah, I would say that it's good, but I mean, it definitely is weaker than the first one. And again, that comes down to things like the narrative of stretching this out to, over 2 hours when, Act 2s usually are not 2 hours long. I think that there's parts that
Act 2 was like 55 minutes long.
Yeah, like I thought there were parts that they extended that I thought worked, and then I thought there were parts that didn't work as well as they could have. And then, of course, when it comes to the musical numbers, these are definitely a lot weaker than the first one. Not bad, but I think that because the first one had the big, bombastic, really fun numbers, this one was like the more contemplative, slower ones where there's not really a lot of room that you can do things like dancing or like a whole lot of creative imagery. There was one song, I do not know if it was a new song because I'm bad at remembering things. It was...
Which song?
The Glinda song, Going Through the Mirrors, whatever that one was.
Is it the Bubble song?
I think so.
I guess you said it's like a girl in a bubble.
I think that's the one.
It's on the new list for it's on the Golden Globe nominations. It's a bad song.
I don't remember the quality of the song, but I really like the imagery of how they kept weaving in and out of like a bunch of mirrors and shit all in one take. I thought that was really cool and really impressive.
Sure. It was among my least favorite moments in the movie, but that's fine. I think visually it's fine. Like, that's the thing. For me, the song itself matters more than the visual of that part. They had 2 new full songs. There's a few new like bits they added in things that don't always work to me. I think everything added musical wise in this doesn't work. That actually one line change I like better. Actually, it's stupid, but like there's a moment. It's in No Good Deed. They changed that since I cannot succeed, for saving you, and said it in this version now it's and since I can't succeed. And it can make the and there help separate these thoughts to make it better lyrically, but. That's about my biggest pro for the changes. I don't like there's 2 new songs officially. No Place Like Home, which is so unnecessary.
Yeah, that was definitely when I was just like, I can tell this one's new. Not a fan of it.
And then Girl in a Bubble is the one you're talking about. I think visually it's cool, but like it's like, oh, I'm sad because I made mistakes. Like, thanks, Glinda. We knew this. It also cuts out a song halfway through. There's a song called March of the Witch Hunters, and they go half the song, cut away to Glinda, play a whole new song, cut back to the rest of the other song. Yeah. Weird choice there. Why is Madame Morble, flip it around, Wicked Witch? Had that in for you all. Josh, you seen that online at all?
I hate that I have, even though I've been staying offline as much as I can. I do, in fact, know about that.
She was so proud of it. She's so proud of it. I love that. Bad movie to me. It gets worse the more I think about it. So I've gone down from a 7, 6, 5, 4 at this point. And every time. Why is it 2 movies? That really, I think the Act 2 is not good on stage, and it's worse here.
I can't speak to that because it's been over a decade since I've seen the show, but it's strange to me because like there is definitely potential to like justify this being in two parts, but I feel like the things they expanded upon were the wrong things to expand upon. There's a lot more they could have done to just expand different things. Like I feel like that showing more of like how the wizard came to be and like grow in power and stuff like that, like why exactly he has such a vendetta against the animals and other things, and then other things like exploring, you know, the Tin Man and Scarecrow and like that aspect of it. You could have explored that a lot more, and they don't. So like it just feels like unfinished in certain aspects.
I agree fully. The pacing issues on stage to me are amplified here. It feels both rushed and dragged out, and that's so fun because you drag out the wrong things. You don't. Here's the thing: instead of dragging things out, add. There's a difference between just making one shallow thing longer instead of adding more depth to that shallow thing. And they don't do that. I don't need to see Glenda's backstory. It's just like what her flashback of her being a kid, like, oh, I'm sad. I need to be liked. We knew this. You didn't add anything like to the story. Instead, I don't know. Also, they make her more sympathetic in this movie. They make her like way more sympathetic than she should be.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I feel like that we still need to have like a good balance of just like, you know, I am sympathetic to you, but also you're kind of being a dick right now.
Do you enjoy Cynthia Erivo's performance as Elphaba?
Oh yeah, she's great.
Do you enjoy that they shot No Good Deed on a giant blue wall?
The green screen stuff, that doesn't bother me because I obviously, with the way the set is designed, that makes sense. It's the atrocious lighting that pisses me off so much. Because if you look at that behind the scenes thing, she is perfectly lit all around, which is not how you should be doing that.
Well, it's easier for chroma keying that way. That's why they do that. It's way easier to pull out the blue.
I understand that, but you completely lose out on any dynamicism and contrast, which is very important when it comes to lighting and mood, atmosphere, tone, things like that. I do not understand why John M. Chu does not know how to light things.
You know what could fix that, Josh, is a real set that's not floating rocks. Instead, just have it be an actual tower she's in, and then she could have it lit well and have her perform with actual blocking around her instead of just floating like this, up and down, and going like this. That's all it is. I just said this, but you can't see visually. But she bobs up and down and moves forward, and like, okay, woo! It's my favorite song on stage, and it's the worst song. It's not worst song, worst choreo in the movie. No, actually, As Long as Your Mind's worst choreo. They don't even touch. That bothers me. They had to keep their PG rating, I guess, is why. But it wouldn't have gone PG-13, I feel like, if they were holding each other.
No. My solution for fixing the lighting was just to lock John M. Chu in a room with gaffers until they teach him how to light shit.
What's crazy, this movie, this book, both these movies together, had 4 months of rehearsal, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
It's really impressive. So why is it not used well enough?
Like, it's used really well in part one.
Yeah. My 3 songs in the book I like the most are always going to be No Good Deed, As Long as You're Mine, and Defying Gravity. Defying Gravity is obvious. I like every song in Act 1 more than, like, quality-wise, more than Act 2 songs. That's why Act 1's better, for also other reasons. But the choices of As Long as You're Mine not being just this clinging, desperate moment, but instead, let me grab this cardigan and walk around a building. It's like, what is happening?
The cardigan that the woodland squirrels made for me.
Are you Snow White now? And it's just like, this is supposed to be it's not just sexual. It's like this, hold me to text. I don't believe you're real. I don't believe this is happening. I'm terrified. It could be killed at any moment. I need this moment to feel real. Please hold me and tell me this is going to be okay. That's not present at all.
It's so strange because this is also like right after a wedding scene also. So I feel like that there should be a lot of complicated like feelings at play. There really aren't. So it's very strange.
It cuts out my favorite musical transition too, of Glinda yelling Fierro, and then goes to the No Good Deed, at least. She yells Fierro, and it cuts into Malakanam, like that. Because on stage it's just like a lighting transition. You could do a cross dissolve and fix that same issue and make it good. Make it one movie, guys. I swear to God, I'm gonna edit this into one movie when this is all done on digital. I need to fix this. I am so mad at that. Because that's what throws out the pacing. It does make Act 1, because Act 1 itself can be a 3-act structure, so it does make the first movie work on its own pretty well.
Yeah.
But in doing that, you make Act 2 extra worse. Anyway, guys, that's my soapbox today. I like Wicked. I don't love Wicked. And I think I don't like Wicked. I adore Wicked. I wish this was more like what I want it to be as a fan of the show. Or if you make changes, make it one movie then, please. I don't need Dulce Bear in the woods talking about home. The Running Man!
I had a great time with this.
Edgar Wright, get your sauce back, please. I swear it's not me be complaining for an hour, but like, please. I need it. I like it. I'll say that. For me, I know you give it 4 stars. I'm probably 3.5. Like I'm not negative on it. I just like not as Edgar Wright-ish as I want it to be, you know?
That's fair.
Give me that Scott Pilgrim Baby Driver, Hot Fuzz transitions. Give me that style again. Because I loved seeing what he could do with different genres and tones. And it, like, oh, I was excited to see how this, because he loves action. He's great at action type stuff. Why is the sauce gone?
I don't think it's necessarily the sauce is gone. I think this is just him trying to do something a bit different because the tone and subject matter of The Running Man, while it can be, satirical and fun, there is a good seriousness underlying it because there is, that horrifying truth of like, this could realistically in this day and age happen at some point. So like there is a good seriousness of it. Personally, I thought he balanced it pretty well, but I get what you mean.
I do love the idea that if it's better for TV, we're going to shade stuff on the fly.
Yep.
That being said, I know it's technically illegal to rig any game show in our current day and age, but if that law is gone, shit is the fan. We'll have rain of millionaires based on just views. Like, I love Survivor because it is authentic. Even the edit's always as authentic as what you're getting. The votes are real. They're doing is real. They are out there doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's fun to me, and not like in a sadistic way. Like just seeing the challenge of the human spirit and what you can do and stuff is fun, and the gameplay of it. Running Man is like, okay, what if in Survivor we shot each other? And also, I also think the concept of it is really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, we got 2 Stephen King movies this year with the same plot.
Yeah,
the
basically.
same, not plot, same, you know what I mean?
Same idea.
Essence of what's going on.
Yeah.
The Long Walk and Running Man, like are in theory the same movie, but it's like you have a log line and then just change the script each time. Also, both good movies. Well, Long Walk's better to me. Long Walk is really good. We'll get to it in a minute. But Running Man, I think Glenn Powell's good in it. The exchange in the car with the woman could have been stronger dialogue, but like I don't really care as much. It was still the movie doesn't know how to end. That's my biggest issue with the whole thing is it keeps ramping up and then kind of fizzles.
Yeah, I haven't read the book, so I'm not sure how different it is because I know that they changed it from the book, but I don't know exactly what it was that they changed, so I can't speak on that.
This movie to me is in general, I think if it wasn't Edgar Wright, I'd be higher on it.
Okay.
I think knowing what this man is capable of and what was delivered are so drastically different in my eyes. Like I also like Last Night in Soho, but I think thematically Last Night in Soho kind of sucks by the end. Like sometimes the victim's bad. Sometimes that's like, not the right approach. I do think him having a woman helping out with Last Night in Soho does help. That's what makes the ending more confusing to me. But in this, I think that he needed some extra help writing the ending better. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it was him and the co-writer of Scott Pilgrim. They wrote this together. This is their second collaboration.
That's weird. Michael Cera is so fun in this, though.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
I also love the idea that if you emphasize in the movie more on hey, we need to spread information without using media, without using technology. We need to get papers out there, get flyers out there, get people together and spread information and show physical proof of things. That'd be great. That's a great way to help show how revolutions can start. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Sad how in the future, there's still medical debt and problems with that.
Yep.
I like how this is like a year, Stephen King was just like, fuck the future, fuck the government, let's fix some shit. Josh, I'll be very brief on this one. Now you see me, now you don't.
I had a really fun time with this.
It's fine. I know you did. It's fine. I don't really hate her. I'm fucking saying I'm a hater today. We've had great movies since this year. I'm going to get to a few of them in a minute, but like the next 4 in a row I loved, but you know what? This franchise is not my favorite thing. I'm going to say that firmly at this point. I watched 3 of these in like the week it came out. I'm like, oh, okay.
I think this was the one that finally figured out how to make this idea work really well. Because I feel like the first 2
They're wizards.
Basically. But I feel like the first 2 movies were like conflicted as to like what they were doing. The first one was too serious and it had one of the most insane plot twists ever. And then the second one, it had like an identity crisis. It didn't really know what it was trying to be. And then this one, I feel like they finally figured it out. Is there a lot of problems with it? Yes, of course there is. But it's also a lot of silly, goofy fun. And I like silly, goofy fun.
It is the first time I felt like friends.
Yeah.
Which helps, I guess. But I don't know if it's better for the story or not. I really I think the first one is the best to me. This is just silly. I'm going to say right now that I think the movie overall is fun. That's about as far as I can get for the pros for me. It teases an ending, another sequel again, and they would do more if they were asked to do more. I really like seeing, what's his face? Woody Harrelson have fun in
Yeah.
movies. He seems to have fun. Also, seeing Jesse Eisenberg being kind is nice. He's kind of crazy sometimes. I don't need the fifth. I don't need, what is it, like 8 horsemen now? This is so silly. What is the eye?
It's both a bullshit thing and not a bullshit thing. It's hard to explain. Again, the lore of this world is also a little bit more convoluted than it should be. Again, I'm not saying that this movie didn't have problems.
This treats the cast like it's Star Wars Episode 9.
Elaborate.
It's like, oh my God, we all love you. You're back. Oh my God, it's you. And it's like this moment of just like, I don't know. A lot of that didn't feel earned to me, but my thoughts on the movie are, I watched it. And again, I'm not overly negative on it. I'm overly positive, but it existed and I watched it. I want to see Holdover's guy get more work.
He's got a Christmas movie on Amazon out right now.
He does play the same kind of part in both, like, at least personality-wise in both movies. I was like, I'm just kind of sad and I'm going to be angsty the whole time, but don't excessive, but that's fine. Let's go one more before I take a break. Josh, a movie that I'm going to be more positive than you are on, but I also agree with your criticism fully. Regretting You.
This is a movie that was not made for me.
It's fine.
It's a generic rom-com that's overly dramatic, filled with cliches, decent performances. I really don't have anything to say because it's not offering me anything to say.
Our second Dave Franco in a row just now.
That's true.
And I think he's not great in this. I think the younger cast in this is stronger than the older cast in this, actually. When Mason Thames and McKenna Grace.
That's fair. I get that.
And that's probably because they're a real couple now, it seems like. And I think that chemistry helps a lot. This movie shines with the mother-daughter relationship a lot. And I think the weaker parts are the adult relationships. Like, oh my God, I found their thing by my cheating husband. Oh my God, let's destroy it. Okay, let's do that again 5 more times. Okay.
That's the problem I've noticed with at least these 2 Colleen Hoover movies. I haven't read any of her books, so I cannot speak to them. But it seems like, and I don't know if this is from the book perspective or just the filmmaker's perspective, but it seems like that there is inklings of good ideas that can subvert a lot of things at the center of it. But then for one reason or another, whether that be execution or just the material in general, it loses what it's trying to do and say. Like with It Ends With Us, I thought that was, for me, that's a stronger narrative compared to this, because that one is kind of reframing, the cutesy typical rom-com story, but, framing a story of abuse around it. And I thought it was pretty interesting, but it also falls short because it's still doing those cutesy rom-com things unironically. But then here you have something that I would say...
The marketing of that movie is bad.
Yeah. I would say here, though, that you have a far more consistent tone and delivery with what they're trying to do. But the problem is that dramatic stuff of, like, the husband cheating with her sister kind of stuff, that to me was the weakest element of it. The normal teen stuff was far more engaging.
If we're spoiling Regretting You, I'm so sorry, but at the same time...
It's in the trailer.
You're just not going to watch a movie. No one watched it. Anyone who watched it was like 18 or 50.
We are mid-20s white guys. These movies are not for us.
I'm 26. I went to the theater by my choice.
I went because my mom wanted to go see it.
Shout out to the moms. We love you, moms. Another Mason Thames, Black Phone 2 was great.
Loved it.
Arguably better than the first, maybe. At least a really good continuation.
Yeah, it's one of those horror sequels that actually finds a reason to justify its existence. And it's building upon a lot of the ideas from the first one that didn't get a whole lot of expansion. It's really cool.
I think I never actually said my problem with the first one was I didn't think all the dream stuff or whatever the supernatural stuff landed as well. Mm-hmm. But now, like, I disagree. This makes the first one better.
Yeah.
Like, it retroactively fixes the problem of the first one to me. Because this feels to me like a Doom Part 1, Doom Part 2 situation. It's one movie to me. It feels like it's a really good, we have an intermission story. It's less of a sequel and more just we're tying up loose ends.
Yeah.
It is fun seeing the actor for Robin in the first one be the actor for his younger brother in this one.
I did not know that.
Same guy. He put on glasses and he got a little older. Huh. Ethan Hawke is good in this. I think he is doing a great Freddy Krueger.
I mean, they kind of lean into it, and I think it works.
Yeah. They're even I think the summer camp vibes are fun. At winter, that's fun. I really loved the snow aesthetic for this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And the idea of mangled kids in snowy trees is kind of disturbing. That's kind of cool, I guess. Seeing that Ethan Hawke ice skating at me with like knives and stuff is fun. Like, it's a fun vibe for this movie. I don't want Ethan Hawke to know it's ice skating with knives. That seems bad. But in the movie, it works. I like that they did fun stuff with his mom. The relationship there was nice. And I really loved the idea of making her mom not kill herself for going crazy in this movie.
Yeah, like this is what I'm talking about with like they expand upon stuff but in a very smart and interesting way because now they don't have a short story that they have to adhere to. Now they get to, do their own thing, and I think that they make a lot of changes or retroactive changes that work a lot better.
We love retconning, guys. Always and consistently on every issue, every comic. Retconning is great. Totally. That's the official stance here. But retconning here works really well. I think everything here. This movie to me, I think I would give it like 4 stars, like 8 out of 10. But it might be higher than that for me. The more I think about it as well, I really think this movie is really solid. And Mason Thames, his like breakdown. There's a scene where the car and the headlights on him, and then it's his dad standing there, and his sister and him in the snow, triangle blocking, just talking. Him breaking down is so well done. I really think that tying in the idea, like how to word this better, the angle of who the grabber was in his past is really clever to make him like former camp counselor, and it makes him way darker. Also, he's already creepy enough as it is, but like the idea of that and like using it as a testing ground for this is really clever for a villain.
Yeah.
And of course, Finney would have trauma. People, I saw someone said, hasn't he moved on by now? I saw online, like, no, that man was definitely sexually assaulted numerous times. He was kidnapped. I'm sure he's beaten many times. We don't see everything that happens in Black Phone 1, guys. Like there's implied stuff that is not good.
Yeah.
He's not just sitting there. I've seen someone say online recently that the grabber, all he did was steal kids and kill them. He never actually hurt. He never assaulted them. No, he did stuff to them.
The man definitely did.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke seems like such a nice guy too. It's funny to me when like actors like that play such evil people when you're like, oh, I'm just a nice dude.
Yeah.
It's been a time jump, guys, of a few days.
No, it hasn't. This is instantaneous.
Whoa, we can do that. It's crazy. So next is one battle after another. But I will say, in between the past recordings, I did watch 2 movies that we should talk about now. I have watched now Hamnet and Wake Up Dead Man. So that'll be on our list now. So I do say my said before, Chloe Zhao should get Best Directing nomination now for Oscars because she is great.
He's fucking incredible, and I now feel more vindicated for my love for Eternals.
Eternals is so good. But anyway, news came out during the between time that we have to mention, Josh.
Which news?
From today. The leaked thing.
The Gaston thing? I don't know what leaked. What
got
leaked?
Okay, Gaston is happening, I guess. But no. There's leaked Endgame trailers.
You mean Doomsday?
Yes, I think they're all Endgame now. We're all in the Endgame apparently. So Avengers, there's going to be 4 trailers officially for Avatar: Fire and Ash.
I heard that.
1 per week, and then apparently each one's going to be about a different Trinity member. So Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. And then leading up the fourth one will be the full actual trailer. And there's leaked today. We saw apparently people have seen it. It is a Steve Rogers Captain America trailer. He's back.
I'm not surprised in the slightest. Again, like we've said before, this whole movie is just an act of desperation that doesn't need to be happening.
But having a series of trailers and not one about, Mr. Fantastic when it's Doomsday is very funny to me. Also, I just feel bad because it means we have what happened? We're Rodimus priming fucking Anthony Mackie now.
Or who priming?
You haven't watched the Transformers movie. You haven't watched Transformers from the 90s. Basically, Optimus Prime dies, Ray's retired, and then the new Prime is Rodimus Prime, who is Hot Rod became Rodimus Prime. It's a huge moment, a great movie, amazing thing. And then when they came back to the next movie or next part of the show, it's like, well, actually people like Optimus Prime more. Back to him, guys. So the amazing story that we happened, forget about it. That's kind of the vibe we're getting now.
Like, this isn't just a big middle finger to Anthony Mackie's Captain America. It's a big middle finger to Steve's actual ending. Like, you gave him such a good ending, and you're just like, actually, fuck that. Who needs endings or conclusions? Shit could just keep going on forever. And I'm like, God, this is why I'm starting to not like what Marvel is doing.
Anyway, that's the news I want to bring up, though. Yeah, we're getting Tony Stark. I mean, the Iron Man trailer. We'll see RDJ's Iron Man then full, of course. So we're going to have all of them back again. Glory day.
Again, I'm not surprised in Tony coming back. It's going to end in him fighting RDJ Doom. I've known that since RDJ got announced.
Makes no sense. Like,
it's the only way it's going to happen. I don't see it ending any other way because this is made by the Russo brothers.
One battle after another.
Good movie.
Good movie. Yeah. It might be my favorite of the year. I'm not sure yet. It's not fair. It's no, Superman's still number 1 for me, but it's really, really high up there for me. I love this movie. It's like 3 hours long, almost like 2.5-ish hours. The runtime is 162. So yeah, it's pretty long. 2 hours 40 minutes.
It doesn't feel like it. It flies.
It's pretty strong overall. I really appreciate Leonardo DiCaprio's amazing performance the entire time, and Sean Penn's weird moment.
I know I'm controversial in saying this. I think comedic DiCaprio is best DiCaprio. Not to discredit any of his other dramatic performances, but like he just has a way with comedic timing that is it's so well done and it's hilarious. This is one of, if not my favorite performance of his I've seen so far.
What's better?
I mean, he's done a lot of things. He's DiCaprio. Like, I like The Revenant. I don't think that's his best performance, though. But even that's the one he won the Oscar for.
Wolf of Wall Street, Django, Titanic, Catch Me If You Can, Kill the Flower Moon, Gatsby, Romeo and Juliet. What's Eating Gilbert Grape is great.
I need to see that one.
My favorite is probably this one of his, at least performance-wise. Maybe Romeo and Juliet. He's really good as Romeo.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of his movies I still need to see. But I think out of what I've seen so far, this is probably my favorite.
I don't want to touch this movie too long because it's really, really good. And it's anything that's all about the movie really is kind of spoilery because it's such a intense movie. A lot's going on. But oh my God, the spy stuff is so funny. This movie is good. The Chase Infinity is fantastic.
She's great.
Her nomination is definitely earned. And I really loved Benicio del Toro in this as well. It is a intense movie to watch this year specifically.
Yeah, there's some scenes of riots in LA that very obviously hit home to a lot of people. And I was like, damn, the timing of this is just woof. Like, for as much as I say that this movie is a comedy, it definitely has a lot of good, serious, and intense moments in it. And this is only my second Paul Thomas Anderson movie I've seen, but this is
Licorice Seats is a weird first one.
It's a weird one, but it is good. But this is definitely better than that in just about every way.
I want to watch Inherent Vice and Punch Drunk Love really badly.
I wanted to see Punch Drunk Love for years, just because Adam Sandler, but I haven't gotten to yet.
Boogie Nights also.
It's made a lot of famous movies.
Indubitably. I don't recap this too much, but again, just my major thoughts are DiCaprio is fantastic. Chase Infinity is great. The entire cast is fantastic. And I want to see it again and again and again. It's back in IMAX this week, so I might go see it again. Now is one that we probably would have done a whole episode on if we had time, and that's The Long Walk.
I freaking love this one. I actually read the book because, this is when I was dying because of my back. So I had time to read a book for once. And it's probably my favorite Stephen King book I've read. And it is definitely up there as one of my favorite adaptations of his work. It's phenomenal to me.
I love the bromance.
The Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson. I always forget. They are absolutely incredible. Definitely some of the best actors of their generation. And if I had it my way, both of them would be nominated for Oscars for this because they are so good.
Isn't Johnson in Romulus? Yeah, he is. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he was in Alien Romulus and he was great in that too.
How about Charlie Plummer though as the jerk guy in Long Walk? So good also.
He's fantastic. I definitely prefer his version of the character over how he's written in the book. The book, he's literally a psychopath and just he's racist and a bigot and everything, which again isn't necessarily bad, but it makes it a lot harder for me to feel much when he was killed. But then in the movie, I think it's much more tame. But I feel that it was much more tame in the movie. And so once he really starts to lose his mind because of how everything the walk does to you, I actually did end up feeling for him despite me not liking him. And I think that's just a testament to how well directed the movie was. I think though the scene that really got me the most was Ben Wong's character. I forgot his name. The way that he dies is just it's so drawn out and it's just really heartbreaking.
He's limping to the end. It's hard.
He's limping to the end and as he's dying, he's I did it all wrong. And he just keeps repeating that. And it's so sad.
I don't want to pay for my fucking naked ladies. That's a good moment. Someone's got to pay for him. Oh shit, you're right. That's a good movie. Tut Nyot. I think it's pronounced close to correct. Tut Nyot. Is it Nyot?
I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Arthur Baker, number 6. Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, and Ben Wong. They're all four. As the four Musketeers, they're so good fun. Also, hearing in Joshua Odrick's performance as Kali, he was the native in the group, the indigenous man, and his actually hearing the moment having him speak in his own language at the end, and the way that scene plays out, and trying to go out as a warrior also for a moment, and it just because the whole movie is it's a very colonialist kind of message also here, the imperialism here, and this just pushes it further. And Stephen King does not shy from that in general with his work. and this is pretty powerful. Again, it's a better version of the Running Man, and the whole idea of no one really volunteers. You're kind of just doing it because you have to and you feel obligated to. It's a good movie here. It's been compared a lot to the Hunger Games, and I think it's fair. But the better thing about this than the Hunger Games to me is that they're not against each other physically. They're actually just in the same predicament. It's different of it, yeah, you know?
Yeah, it was really effective with like just its messaging and everything it was about. And I think compared to the book, it's 100 of them, but here it's 50. I think that was a great change because it's like it makes the pool a lot smaller, so it makes it feel a lot more tense to me because like there's a lot fewer of them. And I just think that any changes they made were done in service to the story itself, and it honestly made it better. Like the ending is completely different from the book, and I genuinely think this ending is way better than the book. Not that the book's ending was bad.
It's very ambiguous still too, a little bit at the end of some things.
It's ambiguous, yes, but the book is even more ambiguous. Like in the book, and again, spoilers, even though I've already put the warning in there. In the book, Cooper Hoffman's character, he's the one that ends up winning, whereas in the movie, he ends up dying, and it's David Johnson's character that ends up winning. But in the book, David Johnson's character sacrifices himself. But in the book, Cooper Hoffman
Which he tries here.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I was just like, oh, we're getting to that point, and like I was already feeling emotional. And then Cooper Hoffman goes back and picks him up. I'm like, wait, that didn't happen. Hold on, what's happening here? And honestly, I love that it did that. It was great. It really defied my expectations. I love when stuff will do that, and I think him killing Mark Hamill, I think it was the right call to make for the story.
He killed the Major, not Mark Hamill, the actor, guys. Just clarifying here. No character murdered the actor.
No, he killed him as the character.
Also, it's funny I said Hunger Games too, because it's Francis Lawrence who did Catching Fire Onward. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty funny. The vibes, at least the landscape is very, I imagine, very just desolate. There's landscapes, very much as like rural Virginia or like North Carolina vibes, and it's kind of fun. It is North Carolina, right? Is actually what they're going through, because they mention where's Cooper Hoffman's character from again?
It's northeast, like in the Maine area, because Stephen King will always do Maine. He loves Maine, so it's like it's up in that area.
Maine's a fun vibe, but I know we talked about the movie a lot already. But again, we would have done a whole episode on it, but don't have time. So we're gonna go to the next one, which is Benoit Blanc being all fancy and fun with Wake Up Dead Man, which this investigating faith the way it does is really interesting to watch, because Rian Johnson also grew up Christian, and him kind of dissecting that. All we have elements of like questioning faith in different ways, but this one is really much more strong on it. Of course, it's in a literal sense, and I freaking love Josh O'Connor in this.
He was amazing, and I think it was genius for this to, out of all three of them, to really make Benoit a side character compared to like what these movies usually do, where he would be the main character. And I think Josh O'Connor's character and his performance also was just so exceptionally well crafted and performed, and like it's there's so much I want to talk about with it, but I have so little time.
It's also indoors, but I suppose this one are harder to count like the other day, pretty much feels like. So let's be a little gentle with it.
But like the way it explores like his faith, why he does what he does, why he basically just believes, it's not your typical way of exploring it. And for me, like, even though I don't consider myself to be religious, like it makes me understand why others are and why they find faith in this kind of stuff. But also it shows the flip side of that.
Or Josh Brolin.
Yeah, it shows the flip side of people that will use it for their own advantages and their own personal vendettas and things like that. And it's not saying that, like, if you're Christian, you're bad. If you're religious, you're bad. It's like, no, it's all about your perspective on it and really asking you, why do you believe what you believe, essentially?
This movie has a lot of different fapping techniques in it. I don't like that part of it as much. I'm not even joking. That's part of the movie from Josh Brolin. It's a joke, kind of. It's a test of someone, but it's fascinating that when he said like your hand upside down and catch him, like, what is going on here? Do we need to go into this month? But Josh Brolin is great in this. Also, he give at least the look some Gandalf vibes, and that's fun. Mm-hmm. I really like Jeffrey Wright in this. I wish he had to do more. I feel like he's now not gonna get a Jeffrey Wright in a future movies as a bigger character. But that's fine though. And we got to see musical theater lover version of Benoit again here. Very fun. Your favorite part of the movie, of course. I also love that Rian Johnson continuously messes with memory and has fallibility of it in like all of his movies, from Knives Out, Glass Onion, this one, and Last Jedi. Very importantly, because people still harp on the wrong point of view in Last Jedi as the true point of view, and it frustrates me.
Yep.
I think the biggest part of the movie, Last Jedi to me, is people not understanding. Well, it's not even part of the movie. It's people not understanding which point of view is the truest point of view, and that's so upsetting to me. But anyway, that's a different day. We both love Last Jedi. Rian Johnson has not made a bad movie yet. I haven't seen Looper. I own it, but to me, from what I've seen, he's not made a bad movie.
I think for me, this is probably out of the three Benoit Blanc mysteries, I think this is probably the best one. I still think like the first Knives Out is probably my favorite, but I think this one, I think that he really fine-tuned a lot of stuff. I feel like the visuals here are the most striking of it, and I think he really balanced like the dark nature of the mystery with like the fun goofiness of it really well. And again, I think a lot of it just really does come down to Josh O'Connor's character and like his journey throughout the whole thing is what makes me love this one so much.
For me, I think Glass Onion is probably the most rewatchable because it's just fun. You know, a fake Elon Musk with Edward Norton, just having a good time, and we get to see Catherine Hahn and Janelle Monáe. Everyone in it is so much fun, so I like that a lot. This is great too. We didn't get as much of the suspects as I would have wanted to have time with, I guess. Like the other ones are more like we're in the room talking to all of them more. This is kind of we only talk to them really in the group setting as much and not as individually, not as investigative with them. Because mostly just following Judd, the priest, and then mostly how he's finding things out and less of Benoit interrogating the room, which is fine. It's just different. Also, I like the trope of accused guy is just sweet, innocent baby, which is all three of these.
Yeah, and to your point about like the investigating people, like that was initially one of my things that I thought was kind of weak with this, but then I thought back to the other ones. It's kind of how he's been doing all of them. Like the first one, you had like the introductory scene of them, but that's pretty much the only time they're like really interrogated. And then the second movie, he almost doesn't interrogate any of them actually. And then this one, it's kind of like a similar deal because that's not what it's about necessarily. He doesn't want to adhere to the typical tropes and structures of murder mysteries. He wants to try to make us demand more essentially from these. And he wants not to necessarily challenge us, but to show us that like these don't have to be as formulaic as possible while still delivering what we expect from these kinds of stories.
We are getting another original Rian Johnson movie before the next Knives Out, though. He said that on record. That's going to be happening next. Is taking some time away from Benoit first, and we'll come back to him again in the future. We are going to get a fourth one, though. I hate they're called Knives Out mysteries. I know why. It's because Netflix needed that to be the case. Netflix needed a subtitle. He said, "Okay, a Benoit Blanc mystery," and then they said, "No, we're doing Knives Out." So like, why even ask for a subtitle? Okay, it's just funny to me because they're not Knives Out mysteries.
Yeah, then like, would you call Knives Out a Knives Out mystery? Like, that's why that subtitle doesn't work, you idiots.
Well, the idea, I guess, is like a Star Wars story. I get the idea of that. It's the same world, but Benoit Blanc as a common name is not known enough. So like my dad knows these movies, but I told him it's next Benoit Blanc mystery. He's like, what does that mean? I don't know what that is, but he knows them as the Knives Out movie. I get that. Like the general dads of the world will know the Knives Out.
Yeah.
Just call it Daniel Craig Fun Time. There you go. And I think that this one is fascinating. The idea, like he will rise again. It's such a fun idea with this, and very evangelical idea. And it's a lot of churches are unfortunately like this. But on top of that, it's a little Trumpy, a little Charlie Kirky here with the overall commanding of and with hatred involved. The fucking Psy, what's his name, who was just like, I've tried every avenue and was naming every possible like hate mongering thing you can think of. Like, okay, that's just all right. With no care about, no passion about what he believes in, just like trying to get people on his, that's fantastic. Rian Johnson is not subtle and he never has been, and I appreciate it.
No. And I think my favorite visual gag of the whole movie is Andrew Scott's character showing that he had built a makeshift moat around his house.
It's not even functional, just, the principle of the thing. Yeah. Good movie overall, like it a lot. I don't think it's my favorite of the three, but it might be the best quality of the three, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. We got to move on, though. It's time for Good Fortune, a comedy that I enjoyed.
I really liked it.
Like, it's nothing, like, spectacular to me, but I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I think that Aziz Ansari's show, Master of None, is probably still one of the best things he's done as a writer and director. But I really enjoyed this because, like, A, it was really fun overall. Like, I thought the cast was great. And, like, I thought, personally, the messaging, it's not about, like, like, shaking it up for people, but more so kind of, like, helping others realize that aren't in this kind of like economic state of realizing like, oh, shit actually is just like fundamentally hard to exist in life. And like, it obviously isn't going to bring about giant change or anything like that. But I don't know. To me, it helped me find comfort to see that someone, like, even though Aziz Ansari is famous, he's able to recognize, like, yeah, shit is like really hard for a lot of people, and so like it's nice to have comfort like that. I guess.
Yes, rich guy knows we struggle. Fantastic. That's kind of my vibe. I walked into the movie a bit more bitter than I wanted to be because it just like it felt very hollow. It's like Seth Rogen's like, yeah, and these DoorDash drivers have it hard. I'm like, yeah, cool. What's the change we're making? Like if this movie, I'd love it. If it said, okay, now we're doing some proceeds here. If we did something, if there was any actual action with the movie itself, it'd be cool. But I know that's just a smaller film in general. I know it's like big names, but the movie itself is really low budget for what it's doing, and it's really fun. I mean, I really enjoy Keanu Reeves being like, now look at me, I'm just chain smoking out here as a dishwasher. Look at my life. It's great. That part's fun. Him as an angel, just being very matter of fact the way he speaks, also is fun. Only his taxes, no more Social Security. That's good. And I really liked Seth Rogen in it overall. Key Palmer's great. The movie's pretty pro-union. That's cool, I guess. It's a shallow movie, but I had fun watching it. I probably would not rewatch it as much.
I had a great time with it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
No, nothing. Shallow isn't also necessarily an insult. I think I was hoping if you're going to do a message like this, make it a little deeper. It's basically just a body swap movie, which we already had a few of this year. Like we had a Freakier Friday too, so that's fun. So then we have Del Toro's Frankenstein.
Great movie. Loved it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I don't have a lot to say. It's the Frankenstein, guys. I mean, it's pretty much what you'd expect from Del Toro making Frankenstein. That's not an insult in any way.
Yeah, but I mean, like, to me, that's exactly why I love it so much, is because he's making it, and it's an actual accurate representation of the story, where, you know, most Hollywood adaptations, they will take elements of it, but they won't fully adapt the story itself. Like, again, the creature, he speaks, he talks, he has thoughts and emotions, and he has ideas and ideologies. I'm like, thank Christ, if someone finally gets it. It's so much more interesting because of that.
I would have been fascinated to see Andrew Garfield's Frankenstein's monster, though. Like in general, I think he was cast originally and couldn't do it, but Jacob's great. But it would have been really fascinating.
Yeah, I think Andrew, it would have been great also, but I really loved Jacob in this. I think this is easily his best performance.
Was it because of We Live in Time or After the Hunt? Maybe is that why?
I don't know which one it would have been that would have caused it.
I mean, it would have been also. I know there were strikes involved. There's a lot of casting changes for things, of course, because stuff like that things kept being shifted in general because of strikes, and that's probably what led to it eventually happening. But Oscar Isaac's great. Mia Goth is fun playing two parts. I also want to say, if Del Toro is so anti-AI, why do you reuse the same location that someone else used with the painting? It's the same shot again. Homages exist and locations exist, guys. Fascinating choices. I really loved the father angle, which is in the movie overall. It's what it's all about, and I really like having the monster, the creature, an idea of an holy thing, but made from death, being born from a crucifixion, basically, from like Jesus was risen or was killed. That's really fascinating. The imagery of that. It wasn't subtle, but it was cool. And I really, really loved the performance of David Bradley in this. Like he's not in it for much, but I love him in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's Filch, right? Who I'm thinking of? Yeah.
Yeah, he's Filch in Harry Potter. He was also Geppetto and Del Toro's Pinocchio.
This movie is really fun. It's a good period piece. We have another period piece next with Hamnet, but before I get off this one, I also want to say that this movie to me, the way it's told in point of view chapters, is kind of similar to the book, because the book is also in there's letters involved too, so it's pretty fun seeing it through time like that. And I think it's funny because Mia Goth, with or without eyebrows, is a different human being. Like she looks so different. Eyebrows can change a face so much.
I literally did not know it was Mia Goth playing his mom in the beginning until, you know, the internet, it got revealed about that. I was like, fucking unrecognizable.
It was Charles Dance? I didn't realize that. Okay, cool. I should know that. I recognized the voice, but I didn't play the face. I didn't really place who it was. Now the movie that made Josh cry like a little baby, Hamnet.
This one broke me.
It's good. He gave it 4.5 stars. I'd probably give it 4 or 4.5 myself. It is a movie that I think is funny that it waits to drop a name, which is not like a secret. The whole movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's acting. It's a oh my god, that's who it is. Kind of like, because they don't say his name the entire movie until like the last like scene.
No, they do.
They don't say the words William Shakespeare until the end of the movie.
I thought you were talking about his son.
No. I'm saying that they don't say it's William Shakespeare until the end of the movie, but it's not like it's hiding who he was.
That didn't read as anything other than they just said his name to me.
Oh, because it seemed very purposeful and I was waiting for them to just talk about name Will or something because I know there's many people online like, oh my god, what a twist! I had no idea. It was like a common thing people were saying. It's a fictionalization of the creation of Hamlet. That's all it is. It's historical fiction, and then we use the term fiction loosely. We know beats of his life. We just like fill in the blanks. It's like not a secret.
The marketing wasn't hiding it at all of what this was. How can you walk into this not at least knowing that?
Also, speaking of Shakespeare, fucking Paul Mescal is great as Shakespeare, as Will.
He was fantastic. Jesse Buckley, God, fucking incredible throughout it. Also, Emily Watson, she's incredible as well. There's a scene when their daughter contracts the illness, and one of her daughters is talking to Emily Watson about it, and just like her reaction or her non-reaction of trying to hold in all the pain and emotion that she has, it was so fucking good. That whole scene of like the leading up to his son's death, it was just God, that hurt.
The idea of I'm trading places and death got him instead and never say that again is great. The moment where Jude is like, it's my fault. No, it's not your fault. That hurt me a lot for sure. I love the small moments, just being them playing outside at the Hawk and just being the moments of like emotional mostly was like the small moments of like fatherhood and just like sword fighting with your son in the yard and just having the mom just showing like the daughters like the herbs and just having fun in life. That's moments like that. I love seeing small moments in movies. It makes me really happy. Mostly because I moved away. It's hard. I don't see my family as much anymore. So like anyone was like that just make me feel more emotion. Of course, then they die. So that's sad.
Yes, it was.
Hamnet, Jacoby Jupe, who was literally just Noah Jupe's younger brother, is really fun to me because they both play Hamnet and Hamlet.
I didn't know that was his brother playing him.
I'm pretty sure they both have the same last name. It'd be weird if they didn't do that. And it's a great way to show like expressing grief for someone and showing like how you meant or things you want to say to them without being a one-to-one direct thing. And it's how more writers should write about their own lives. Don't write like, here's what happened in my life, right? Here's how it made me feel. And that's a great way to do that. And I really, really loved the idea of basically Shakespeare, at least in the story here, wasn't there for his son's death, so he didn't get to have last words. So he gave himself last words to his son as I'm dead, here talking to my son who's alive. That's really clever. Except I've read Hamlet before. I love the story of Hamlet. Having a behind the scenes-ish look at it is really fun.
Yeah, for me with Shakespeare, it's always been tough for me to just like kind of just understand it in general. And like this, the way it contextualizes everything, it really helps me like finally really understand Hamlet and what like it's, about and everything. Obviously, context aside of like, his son's death, the way it expresses it.
Have you read it prior?
I don't know if I've read the whole thing before, but I know I've definitely like read a good chunk of it.
I really hope this gets across to people now that the to be or not to be speech is suicide ideation. And people use it all the time with him holding the skull, which is not at all the same scene, first off. And people like just say it like, oh, to be or not to be without any like context of what it means behind them. And then just make it's in things all the time as like a bastardized version of that scene. No, it's him saying, should I kill myself or not? To be alive or not to be.
In this, he literally like it's out of the play. Like he like is literally this is after his son dies. He's in London. He's standing over a bridge, and that's when he like starts saying that because he's contemplating it because he can't imagine being in a world without his son in it.
Also, it sucks that his wife is like blaming him for not being there. It's like, well, I can't change that now. What can I do? And I get that. I love the reaction because I also understand it at the same time. It's like, what his life is. Like, this is a hard thing that you agreed to. It's a make it messy thing. Really good. Also, Agnes is a bad movie theater goer. I would have hated her. I would get her kicked out of the AMC. So it's interesting to me seeing Agnes walk in and then the theater being with all the peasantry essentially, which is funny because, everyone, her daughter got sick. So other people who are sick and dying also. And then seeing the wealth around her, like, because Shakespeare's a celebrity, and like historically, canonically in history, was an actual celebrity essentially in England at the time. People loved him, so having that moment of the rich people there of loving them and supporting the theater, but your wife isn't up there. It's a fascinating thing there. Let's get into a good movie, but very silly movie, and that's Freakier Friday. Good time, yeah.
I love this way more than I was expecting to. This was hilarious. I absolutely loved it.
It's less racist too. Like the first one, that the Chinese fortune cookie stuff, it's a little racist. Like just as a vibe, they did.
Look, it was the early 2000s. It came with the territory of being in that time period.
Yeah, and now we have Who was it playing the fortune teller in this? I forgot.
Ah, she was on the SNL. I know Vanessa Bayer.
She's so funny. Yeah, I love this overall. I think I had a lot of fun with it. I don't think it was again. It was not to me incredible, but a pretty fun movie. It was a good watch, and I really loved Manny Jacinto not being just Jason Mendoza from The Good Place and seeing him telling us like, oh, I can be funny, but like keep my actual like dignity and intelligence with me too. That's really fun.
Yeah.
I had not seen him in a comedy besides The Good Place, which is very different.
The last thing I saw him in was the Amazon movie I Want You Back with Jenny Slate and Charlie Day. He was also really funny in that too.
You watch The Acolyte much with Star Wars?
I saw the first episode and then the internet would not shut up about it in the absolute worst possible way, so I did not watch it.
He's in Top Gun Maverick?
He got cut out of it.
Now, according to Letterboxd, it's his top movie.
Well, he's still cut out of the movie.
Rip. He's good in this. I want to see him play a superhero. That sounds like, oh my god, normally fan casting. I want to see it. People say Nightwing. He's too old to be Nightwing, guys. But he'd be a fun Batman, maybe, or a Green Arrow.
He could be.
He's got a good vibe to him. It's really fun seeing Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan just have fun together again. I don't know if I like them as much being just the way they're swapped around as fun to me, maybe, but I think it's still fun overall.
It led to some great jokes. I'm gonna go listen to some old people music. Like what? I don't know. I'll listen to like Coldplay or something.
All of the stars, all of the stars. I had the song. Remember the song "Clocks" from Coldplay?
I don't know most songs by name. I would need to hear them.
It was the song they used for the 2003 Peter Pan movie live action, like the trailer. It was the only song they used, and it's always like a really fun. It's not the vibe at all. Give me one negative, one positive about Freakier Friday.
I guess negative. It obviously follows beats of the original like a little bit too close, but I think that the bond
thing at the end.
Yeah, but I think like the bonds between all of them and the way they all grow, I thought was really well done. It actually like got more emotional than I was expecting.
One thing for me that's both a negative and a positive is Chad Michael Murray's character of Jake to me. They really regressed who he is as a character to make him just like into old ladies now. It's like that's not the vibe it was in the original. It was I just like the personality of this part of the girl I actually like, who just happens to be anybody.
No, it's Jamie Lee Curtis specifically. That's who he's horny for, and the fact he's still horny for her was fucking hilarious. It was so funny.
Very odd vibe. Well, because it's funny because Jamie Lee Curtis in the original one, I mean, he was really just into what's the character's name? He was into Anna in the original one, but just in the wrong body before. And this one, I don't know. He was just very funny to me. The record store bit is really good. The whole thing there, the whole idea of Jamie Lee Curtis is wearing crazy outfits at the Capitol Records, which is like a mile from me. Pretty cool. It's fun. It's a really fun movie overall, and I think that it's a good watch. If you like the first one, you probably like this one. And there's also not much to spoil. Bugonia, maybe weirdest of the year.
Definitely up there.
Definitely. Emma Stone's great. Jesse Plemons is great. But to me, the standout performance is neither of them. It's the guy who put Aiden Delbus, who played Donnie. Incredible.
He was fantastic. Like he was able to hold his own against two titans of actors and never felt out of place.
And I got a vibe, and it's probably just because it's great acting that it's just like how he is as a part, like his just maybe the way he talks, maybe the way he acts in real life, maybe he's just cast for that. I don't know. I've never seen him in anything else or any interview without anything else. But he comes across so authentically, and it's kind of depressing because the character is pretty depressing, especially like the whole like the castration thing. It's like, oh, what if I have kids one day? Well, who cares? Like, oh, okay. The way he goes along with everything is so sad. He just wants to be loved and have love, and he's phenomenal. It's also his only acting credit, really.
I think from what I read, it was his first role he got out of college. I don't know if he went to like acting school or something like that.
Did you enjoy the ending of this movie? Here's the thing. I know I said spoilers here, but I just want to be a little more vague in case you haven't seen it yet. But I'll say that the ending of this movie here, starting the movie off, it can either go one of two ways. And it's really hard to make that satisfying overall because like you just kind of know, okay, it's this or this. But they toy both ideas, middle ground in the movie for so much of it. There's the shock moment, like, okay, now I know which one it is. Like there's an actual moment there, like half of the movie, it's like it's pretty clear what is going on for real, but they still toy with it after that fact, and I think it works.
I think it works, and I think it works more so because of like the symbolism and messaging behind it of like exactly what this all kind of like means in general for our world as a whole, because it's not just cautionary tale about believing everything you see on the internet, stuff like that.
Very red pill conspiracy stuff, very like going down a deep path online and whatever.
But it's also very much about like believing and trusting corporate entities and corporate heads and like realizing that they do not have your best interests at heart in any way, shape, or form. And that we as a society have given them so much power that, if they want to, they could just end us in the blink of an eye.
Is it Yorgos' best movie to you?
No, for me, Poor Things is still his best.
Not The Lobster?
No.
No.
But this is a very close second.
For me, it goes this, then probably Kinds of Kindness, then Poor Things, then The Lobster that I've seen. I'm not seen Sacred Deer or The Favorite yet. Only out of the 4 I've seen. Kinds of Kindness to me is really good. I just wish that was one of the 3 vignettes. I wish it was longer, but by a lot. But like overall, it's still like I think it's the first one where like his boss is Willem Dafoe, or whatever. That one's so good. Mm-hmm. They're all good, but that one's like really fascinating. I also think it's so funny when Josh saw Kinds of Kindness. He went to the bathroom during one scene. Then when he walked back to the bathroom, got way more confused by. You know what I'm talking about?
It's been.
They watched a sex tape of their previous like force or something.
Yes.
And then he came back and like, what are you referencing? And it's like, but Bugonia, it is up there as one of my favorites of the year. Mostly it looks like it's shot and like made like a student film. Like it's very, very indie, and it looks like it could have been made at Mason with us, like the way it's done. Mm-hmm. And I love that vibe so much. Like it's very authentic in a way. I'm trying to think of a word to describe this. It feels tangible and homemade, and there's a lot of passion put into that.
Yeah, that's what I love about Yorgos as a director is that even though you can tell there's obviously visual elements that you can pinpoint in each of his films, he tries to bring a different aesthetic to each one, and it makes it feel unique while still feeling familiar. And to me, that's a great sign of a director.
And let's go with probably the last 2 things here. Weapons. Oh my God, it would be a whole episode also. This movie is a lot to say, and it's growing on me more so. If you've not seen Weapons, I don't want to say anything. That's a problem, because this movie is a movie you should watch without knowing anything, similar to Barbarian.
Yeah.
Gladys is fun as a character. There's vibes to this movie. Again, I know we're spoiling, but please skip ahead right now if you're not going to spoil it at all. I'm not still as much in the idea of which angle for this movie, but as I got spoiled that walking into the theater, as I told you before, and my theater experience was also tainted by someone scream laughing the entire movie next to me. But that being said, I love the Naruto running kids. I love the vibe that this movie is. I love Josh Brolin. I love the passionate. The school shooting allegory is not lost on me, and it's very strong overall. I don't think it's my favorite. I think I like horror of the year even, but I love it for what it is, and it is growing on me. It's gone from like a 7 to 8 to maybe 9 out of 10 the more I think about it. And so I love when you consider the movie and it just grows better for you. Barbarian to me, I think it's similar. I came out of the movie loving it, like as like an 8 out of 10, and now at this point it's pretty much 10 out of 10 because the movie really sat with me and it really just haunted me in great ways, and that's similar here.
Yeah, no, I absolutely loved this from the moment that I saw it. For me, I had the opposite theatrical experience. It was a sold out theater, but everyone was so locked the fuck in. It was dead silent throughout the whole thing. And to me, that's a great sign of a horror movie if you're able to do that for your audience. But aside from that, I thought that a lot of the scares were done incredibly well. The humor especially was also done fantastically. I really loved the way it was structured and how different it was, because it could have gone very traditional, but it takes a more kind of vignette approach to it, and I thought that was very fascinating. And I can understand not enjoying the witch angle, but to me, I found it to be pretty interesting. My only gripe is that I just wanted like a little bit more information about Gladys and that kind of stuff. Like, and I'm not saying explain everything. No, I know, but I'm saying that in the story as it was, I just need like a little bit more. Just like give me a few more drops, and then it would satisfy me. But other than that, I absolutely loved it. It's definitely my favorite horror movie of the year.
But you're getting a whole feature film instead. I love alternate Aaron making this, but I really loved the performance of Austin Abrams as James in this movie, who's the junkie guy. He just wants to exist, man.
Yeah.
He is caught up in some weird stuff constantly. And including police brutality, which is, he shouldn't have lied about having a needle in his pocket. But at the same time, you don't get to be punched in the face for that. I mean, it's human to human level, justified. But cop punching in the face, not justified. I like to know that no one's movie is like a good person fully. There's not one character who's like ethically like a good full person. There's like, everyone here has lots of bad in them, and that's really fun. Actually, I will argue maybe Benedict Wong. No, the hot dog tray is pretty crazy. The hot dog tray is pretty crazy. It's fun, but it's pretty crazy. And I guess what's the name of the Julie Garner, Justine, also kind of insane, following a child like that. But you know what? Good movie. Basement of Kids, creepy.
Good times.
Good times indeed. I also Zach Kreger, the director, said that they matched up. The vignettes don't line up right. They just do not. If you made it in the same times everything, he's like, it doesn't really matter. It's just we're having fun. And I like that mentality a lot. It's like, you know what? Rule of cool sometimes supplants the exact plot hole criteria. Like, no, just we're just gonna have fun with the story. And like, when you wrote it, it's like it works in the writing okay, as a movie okay. But if you break down the exact like scene of when things took place properly, it's like that wouldn't line up right. But also, who the fuck cares?
Mm-hmm.
If you're that pedantic, stop watching movies. Now we're gonna talk about the last movie on this list, and that is you can pick, Josh, because now we're getting in the summer again. We're supposed to be avoiding summertime because Superman was already our summer movie, but either The Bad Guys 2 or I Know What You Did Last Summer.
That's a great question. Let's go with I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Bad.
I think back on it, and the problems are becoming more apparent the more I think on it. And again, spoiler, stuff ahead. My issues with it is that it wants to be Scream 5, but it doesn't have the satire to go along with it, so it doesn't make sense for its existence. And also, making Freddie Prinze Jr. the killer in this,
bad.
I could, in theory, be fine with it. They do not give him enough justification at all for like turning. So when it gets revealed, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I sit and I think about it, I'm like, hold on, that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I'm very, very anti making the victims killers in like a sequel in general. I think it usually goes against the whole point of like in real life, it goes against a lot of that. I mean, the like you can move past your trauma idea, which I really appreciate. But in this case specifically, also doesn't make sense. Fred Jones is lost his mind now. The gang is gone. He's just gone crazy. Whatever. But like the idea of making everyone hate her, like having the survivors, Julie and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character, who I don't remember, but Ray, they having dated, married, and then broke up again. I don't care. Just that's not interesting. That's like every horror movie does that now. Okay, well, we were buddies and we're married, now we're gone again. Now we're on weird terms. Just don't do that. Like, it's boring. This movie also makes a great moment about the AMC Nicole Kidman joke. That's kind of fun to me. I like that moment. Only good joke in the movie. They also didn't break a law this time. Like, they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't kill a guy.
Yeah.
Like, at all. They pulled over to watch some fireworks and were drinking legally. And we're being smart. All that happened was the guy was speeding, ran off the edge. That's literally it. Like, at worst, they were jaywalking. In the first movie, they were underage teens drinking and driving. That makes more sense. That they did kill a man. That was their fault. In this case, not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you did last summer. It's like, what did we do last summer? We just kind of were existing. It doesn't work. The whole premise of the movie doesn't work.
Like, I can understand them being scarred from it in terms of like seeing that happening and then feeling guilt for not, calling for help. But again, they didn't cause it. So that's a very different level of guilt and trauma they would be dealing with. So, and for the one friend to be like, it's because of you, like, you didn't allow me to call them. I'm like, you could have just walked away from them and made a phone call. Like, what?
My only thought about Bad Guys 2, though, MacGuffinite, great name.
As soon as they said the word MacGuffinite, I was like, this movie gets it. This movie has the sauce.
What a great autumn of movies.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good it is. And there's some, of course, the ones that you have seen I haven't seen yet. Like, I haven't seen FNAF 2, which is your favorite movie of the year. I haven't seen Tron Ares, which is your favorite movie of the year. I haven't seen Him, your favorite movie of the year. I haven't seen Beautiful Journey, your favorite movie of the year. Or Chainsaw Man, your favorite movie of the year. Roofman, you also watched. And you enjoyed?
Mm-hmm.
Springsteen, you liked. And like, I want to see The Roses is now available. Like, technically speaking, another movie came out like August 9th, so end summer, early October, fall time. War of the Worlds, which you give half a star to, but I want to see still. Make that a Patreon exclusive. Us watching War of the Worlds together. That'd be kind of fun. Some of these movies were August, and that's fine. Fall is ambiguous to me. Who the fuck cares? Whatever, guys. We had fun. Superman was good, and as we move past Superman now, we did kind of avoid Fantastic Four. I was going to be in a Superman episode. We didn't do it. And it was going to be the next episode. We skipped Fantastic Four. I'll say this. It's a good movie. That's my recap for that one.
Fun times.
Yep.
Really liked it.
Josh, where can people find you online?
I'm on the Instagram at J_Rudy16, YouTube, and Letterboxd at Josh Rudolph.
You can find me everywhere at Sean.mov, SeanDotMov, like the file format. It's a joke on the filmmaker thing. But you also can email the show at podgeekspeak@gmail.com, tweet at us, threads us, Blue Skies, whatever it is, at GeekSpeakPod. We're everywhere there, hashtag GeekSpeakPod. Join us on Discord down below and have real-time conversations with us, whatever. And we're going to go more ham into our Patreon in the new year, making like actual content on there and have fun with that as well. And try to build up this podcast more and more. We say every year we're going to do it like now for real. Like actually, hey guys, we're going to do stuff. Because guess what? I'm going to have a set schedule going next year. I'm going to set my availability specifically so we can make it so we can do stuff, Josh. I got you.
Hell yeah.
And happy holidays. Happy Christmas, guys, which is almost here. We are about 10 days away now, which is crazy. And we should have that episode before or during the holiday itself. Haven't decided what it was. Last year, I made Josh do a Who's the Best Grinch idea, which is pretty chaotic. This year, we'll see. I am running low on my ideas. We're having fun with it.
Look, I'm honestly fine if we keep reusing either like the Who'd Be Best Grinch or Who'd Be Best Santa, because that's always fun every year.
Maybe I'll throw in a curveball of who would bully Rudolph the most.
Sure.
I'm kidding. Anyway, guys, have a great time. If we don't see you again soon, Merry Christmas, and we'll be back. I promise.
As William Afton says, I always come back.
You know he took the role because he was promised to be the Darth Vader of the FNAF universe.
That's a big oof, my guy.
I mean, technically speaking, he is, but like that's not a high bar.
No.
Anyway, that's the end recording. Woohoo!
Woo!